Hi, good evening. First of all, I would like to thank for the organizer of the event for giving me a chance to share my experience with you. And also, I feel very proud today to speak in front of the very influential people for us at that time, like Dr. Anat. And also I miss many amazing people that were supporting us at the time. To go to my discussion, I will try to talk more on the activity that also Jonathan was here also, the lawyer for Hotline. First, if you want to ask me about what was happening in Eritrea, I left it to ask me later, but I will talk more about as a co-founder of the leadership here in Israel. First of all, I didn't expect to be a leader also from PHR, the head of the PHR also. I'm very glad to see him. I didn't expect to be a leader when I was coming to Israel. Just when I was, if I was lucky, just if I arrived to Israel, I was expecting that to go to prison. And when in prison, I was expecting somebody to either from UNHCR or from the government of Israel to come to ask me why I left Eritrea, what was the reason behind that, and to treat me like a refugee or asylum seekers. Unfortunately, I never been in a prison also in Israel. I'm one of the people who get chance to come straight to Tel Aviv. I was in the base with the army, and unfortunately, we were supposed to go to prison. It was a Shabbat. I feel it's very good to share it with you. And we were returned back to the base. We didn't know that it was a Shabbat. And the next 2 days, we were with the army, and the army, they finished everything they have for us. They gave us all the food, and it was on Saturday that they tried their best to bring all the fruits from the Mushav. And at the end, they put us on a bus and they take us to Beersheba, and they drove us outside of the Beersheba. We were like 50, something like that, from Ivory Coast, from Sudan, from Eritrea. And the soldier who was with us told us to go to the city Beersheba, but he told us not to go to other direction. If we go that, we'll be arrested. For me, I just make an argument with him. How do you release us like this? How do you know us, whether we are good people or bad people for the state Israel? Because we never been interviewed, no one was questioning us. And he told me that, hi guy, you are lucky, you take your chance, go to Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. He told me like this. And also my friends were very angry with me at that time. I'm very sorry Tedros was not here. He was one of the leadership at that time with me. And we went just straight to Beersheba. In Beersheba, just with all the dirty clothes, you can expect how people who cross from the border, passing all the desert, everybody can see you with all the dirty clothes, bag and everything, but no one was caring about us. And we took a taxi, we changed the dollar, and we come to Tchana Merkazit. At the time it was in 8 in the evening. People, they lead us to the shelters. We didn't know that there was a shelters, but people who were before us, like 3 months, something like that, they took us to the shelter, which is Matalon. And in the 2 days, we were starting to notice that we were like somebody in a jungle who lost, and we found ourselves, the Eritreans especially, no one was aware on us. Just when the people, they come to the shelter to donate food, clothes, they are calling us in the name of Darfur. It was like frustrating for us, and we were happy that our brothers, the Sudan's, our brothers were getting noticed by the sympathy by the Israeli people, but for us also, we feel that we are coming from different country with the same reason, with big political problems, so we persuade on ourselves that we need to do something in order to get attention and awareness in the Israeli society. And it's surprising, in the first 3 days, we make a campaign in Lavanda, in Matalon, and we put notice with the people, and we call them we need to make a meeting, we need to discuss about situation in order to do something here in Israel, in order to make awareness in the people, in the government. And it was on Saturday, the same Shabbat, after I am arriving in Israel, after 3 days, we were able to elect the leadership. I am part of the people who were elected at that time. We did it democratically, and the leaders were elected by vote. And the elected leaders, it is an assignment for us, all the responsibility in order to get the Eritrean refugees to get attention from the Israel society. Our main objectives were, we need to find who are this organization, the humanitarian organization, and their activities in order to work with them. Unfortunately, Alice was not here for us. She was an angel at that time. She opened all the doors for us. She was the person that helped us to meet Mesila, ASSAF, PHR, the Clinic of Law in the University of Tel Aviv, also the UNHCR. Also at the time, the paper that only we get is from the UNHCR. So based on that, we know who are this organization, and also we know that what's their activity, so that we as a leadership, we divided the responsibility. We just make people to involve in every organization and to use their activity also for our benefits, for the benefits of the community. That's why at that time, to share a little bit, the Eritrean refugees were in 3 groups. Some of us were just getting an opportunity to live in Tel Aviv. Other people were in agricultural place. They were released based on a condition, and they were living in agriculture. Some people also, they were in prison. There was families also separated, a mother with child in prison, a husband also inside Tel Aviv. So in order to solve all this problem, we were starting the good relationship, especially with the Clinic of Law in the University of Tel Aviv, like Tali, the amazing woman. I'm so sorry she was not here today, and also Dr. Anat. We were working very closely about the people in the Moshavim, in the agricultural place, because they have a lot of problems, and we took all these cases with them, and we informed them, and we try our best to solve for that. And we were also working with the hotline also about such kind of issue. The other things that in order to get also attention from the Israel public, we used the Matalon. As a leadership, we planned that everybody from us to talk with any Israeli, from the Israeli, there are many people who are visiting the shelters with food, with clothes, and we used that technique that to talk with everybody, to tell our history, to tell the problem that why we were forced to leave our beloved country and the situation that we are here, because we understand that all these people, when they go to their home, when they go to the to the place they will work, they will share this information with their friends, with their families, so that our problem will be a little bit to get attention from the people. And also, we sacrifice also ourselves. We noticed that people, they were afraid from the journalists to give interview, to give also being exposed to be people were afraid when the journalists come with the camera, they were hiding from the shelter, and they were also not willing to share their story. As a leadership, we take that initiative and sacrifice ourselves and our family, because if we didn't tell that, all the stories that we left back home, we cannot get any assistance. So that we were making interviews with journalists, no matter whether they are coming to help us or to harm us, just to share and to get notice on the media. It's part of the good project, I can believe. Also, we were assisted by these organizations. And I'm one of the first people who were making interview with the Channel 2. And I was sharing with the Channel 2 about all the political situation back home and the situation that we were also facing in forgotten people living in shelter which is undergrounded, overcrowded. So it was it has a very good impact, and we're also after that many people they start to visit the shelters. Another thing that we were doing is also we were participating in every seminars which is conducted by these organizations, and we went there and we share our story, because we believe also this organization, we know that they were talking a lot about us, but as a refugee, if we were present there and if we tell our story by ourselves, it can be, very attractive also for the people. As part of that, me myself, all my friends were they doing that like that. Also, me myself, I was participating, for example, in Herzliya in one junior school, sharing our story with one Ivory Coast guy, and we tell the kids, and also they ask us why, like a journalist, why we left our country, what the problem happened for us. And the next day when we return back, these children, they went their home, they shared this story with their family. To tell you the amazing response that we get, many families from Herzliya, they come to visit the shelter with donation, food, clothing, so that it was for us like a big technique to influence the society. Another thing also that we used at that time, we used the humanitarian issue in the shelter as a tool also for us to get sympathy from the Israeli society. Especially maybe some people, they know it, the Matalon, now they use it as a church. Like 300 people were using in a place the same like this, and it was a place where there is one toilet, one shower, and it's like a big crisis. And we invite the journalists, and they saw it. Also, there were the journalists also. They help us a lot. They take everything in the shelter while the people. Sometimes they come when the people were sleeping in the night. Sometimes they come when people were eating very in a compact place. They put it in the media, and it was like very attractive, and was also like it influenced the people of Israel, because in this big city, very developed city, people were living in a mess. So it was touching, and there also people was very becoming sympathizer for us. Another thing is also the leadership. We decided to be available in these shelters, especially in Matalon and the Lavanda. Just those who were working in the night, they have to be in the shelter in the daytime. Also, the people who are working in the daytime, they have to be in the shelter in the night, because there are many people visiting. So we need to share, because you don't know in Israel, in a place like the country that I left, if the government officials they come to visit with the car of like public cars, like government cars. Here we notice also the amazing politicians, the government people, just they come like a simple person, so that we know, we understand we need to be there, and we need to explain them all the situation, all the problem that we have, so that they will raise also when they return back from that. As part of this, we were able to just like I can call it like an achievement for us. These are the things that which I mentioned before. It's like our main objectives, but we were rewarded. It's not because of us, because of the work of all those organizations and our involvement also. First of all, we were able to make the shelter like the center of information for Eritrean, center of information about Eritreans to the Israeli people. As part of this, also I like to mention it. I was like coordinating all the humanitarian things like the clothing, fooding, and other stuffs. We were able to get many donations. Sometimes we have also we have many foods, but we don't have space. We have like a lot of clothes donation. Above all is we get sympathy from the Israeli society. Another thing is also we were able to get attention from the Israeli authorities, thanks to like Tali. She was with the University of Tel Aviv, Clinic of Law for the University of Tel Aviv. She bring as member of the parliament to the shelter many times. We were sharing with them. We were explaining them our hardship in the shelter, and we were not able to work because we don't have the papers. So we were sharing our frustration with them, and also they, they were, promised us just they will do something with the government, something like that. Also, we were able to visit it by the mayor of Tel Aviv. I'm very proud to explain that today in this evening. he visited us to the Matalon. He discussed with us about all the issue, the situation, and we share also our frustration with him. And I was also with other member of the committee. I was accompanying him. He went all on foot from Matalon to the shelter in the Levinsky Park, which is there is a shelter for, I think, for the bomb shelter inside the park. Also, we bring him up here. There was a shelter also up for women and children. I explained everything about that. We explained him, and also at that time he promised us that they will try to do something to assist us with this all the humanitarian issue. And we were able also at that time to organize the people to participate in a big demonstration. It is in 2007, which is the Human Rights Day. And we organized it in a very beautiful way, just by making T-shirts, by also making different, making it like a culture also, to show also the good side of our culture to the Israeli society. And it was like very attractive at that time. It's one of our achievements. Another thing also, we were able, as the leaders, we were able to identify that we have a problem with accompanied minors. Because you need to give priorities for the women and the children. We were to identify these accompanied minors, and we were also to discuss about this issue with ARDC, ASSAF, and the Mesila. And I was very happy that share also today we find a place for them. Some of them, the Israeli families, they took them. Some of them also, we were able to put them in Machom Achar Basel. I was responsible for them to assist them, because there are Israeli children living there, and we put like 6 Eritrean children also with them who don't have like families, and there was like rules and regulation in that shelter. These people, because they come from different culture, always there was a problem, and to solve that problem, we took it like personally, and also I doing it that business, and I was visiting 3 days in a week just to solve the problem and to advise for the children. At the end of also we were able, by the help of Masila, these people to send them to the boarding school, and to my knowledge, most of them they finished the 12th grade, and I know also 3 people from them now they are studying in a college. It was one of the success for us at that time. The another thing is also, I cannot take it like all the achievement for us. It's the achievement of the Israeli people who were at the time was more sympathizers with us, and the organizations. We were able to get like 2,000 visa, B1 visa. It's not an easy task. It's like a great success for us. But in these things also, as a leadership, we take the initiative. Okay, the government was deciding to give the Eritreans like 2,000 visa. Those were already in Israel, and we were very excited by that. But the government was able to see our problem and trying to give us a solution. But to make it smooth, we discussed among us, and we take that in order to make the smooth all the process, all the leadership. At the time, we are like 14. We decided to stop working just to make all the process smooth. At the time, they were given this visa in Beersheba and Rishon LeZion, and we assigned 2 people in Beersheba, 2 people in Rishon, and we create also like center of information, that like hotline. If there is problem, they can call in Tel Aviv. And also making like 6 people who can, we make the Matalon like the central place. People, they can start to go to Beersheba or to Rishon from that place. And we make like 6 people there to collect the people and to take to the bus station and to lead them either to Beersheba and to Rishon. And we take this decision, and we work with this until the government start to finish all issue, given the visa. Like we stopped from working for 1 month and have. It was not an easy task. All of us will lose our job. We were able also not able to assist ourselves. It was very difficult, but as a leader, sometimes it's the decision that if you are serving the people, it's the decision that you need to take also. And another thing also, when people were getting the visa, as a leader, we were starting also, still, always we are, the backup for us are the organizations. The organizations also, they are not stopping. Now also okay, these people were getting the visa, then there is a need to find a job. Also with this, we work with them, and we were able to send people to Eilat, because there are many hotels in Eilat. Majority people we were able to send them, we organize and we explain them all the situation. And another thing that we did at the time also, we were able to organize like big meeting with the community by inviting people from UNHCR in order to explain about the situation, what's going on, and all the process. Also inviting people from PHR, because the people also need us to have a knowledge about the health problem, where they can do the insurance, where they can get the assistance, and also it's another of our activity. And as leaders also, we were organizing to show our solidarity with the Israeli people, especially in the Pesach. We were cleaning the people of the Holocaust survivors. This also the initiative that we took with ARDC, the leaders we were serving in this activity. Also we were organizing like an event to go to Sderot, because at that time it was more bombarded from Gaza. So to clean and to show our solidarity that we love them, and also to clean all the areas that were affected by this kind of bomb. This of some of our good activity like that we did. We are not waiting to be assisted, but sometimes also you need to show that also that you can give also. So it's like in our capacity, the gift that we can share our solidarity with the Israeli people. But all these activities were for us. I will just want to share with you the challenges. We are not also free from the challenges. Always, most of the works were in the shoulder of individuals. Like almost it's all under leadership. As a community, just we didn't get that much that kind of support from the community. Either they are afraid to be, when we are calling them, especially after that demonstration, when we ask people, there was a lot of demonstration which was organized by this organization. When we asked people to go to participate in such kind of demonstration for their rights, people were not that much participate. Either they are afraid or some other reasons. We didn't get that much kind of support. And another thing also, the visa issue as a leaders, we were given the B1 visa. At that time, it was like the government was decided, after we make the meeting with the UNHCR, we know that the government would decide to give all the visa for the people who are already in Tel Aviv and in the Mushav and in the prison center. After that, if the people they come, they can get the same kind of visa. But for us, we are not only representing the 2,000 people, we are representing all the Eritreans, even the newcomers. But at the time, after we start to get the visa, there was like one situation in 3-4 days, like 800 people were start to arrive, and it was like a mess. There was in the media and in the parliament, there was like shock news about this. Even Prime Minister Ormort was speaking about this. Other government officials were speaking about this, and they just to make it, restriction for the visa. Only they issue for the people who already they come from December 25. So for us, we find it very difficult for the other people to explain that it's not on us, it's on the government decision. Even if we are trying to explain for them, it's very hard. We find it very hard to persuade them. Also, the other thing is also the Hadra Gadra issue. We have the visa that can give us a chance to move all the place, but for them restricted. So as leaders, when we try to communicate with them, to explain the situation, we find it's like very hard, and people, you know, they put all the blame on us because only you care about you. You don't care about us because you have this visa, but you are not working for us to have the same kind of visa. So we were divided, you know, like it's another thing. Also, we were not free from the interference of our embassy here. Both the Eritrea and Israel, they have relationship, they have embassy in both cities. And this also another big challenge for us. From the time that we start the leadership, there are people who tell the people, now don't give interview with the journalists, don't share your information with these white people, because if you share with them, they can harm you. Just only they were advised to share their inside story in ESR when they are sitting with individual person. But it was, for us, it was the other way around. We take the initiative. Just if we didn't tell our story for the media, for the government, for the society, no one can assist us. Also, the embassy also by himself also trying to isolate us. You see, these people were working for the Ethiopia and for this agency, America, and this. No, just he tried to make the society very suspicious on us, as if we are hired by some organization, by the Ethiopians, in order to expose the Eritrean government. Because as a leadership, if we were organize these people, we will expose everything what was happening in the country. So we find very challenging, but we never been defeated. We were very successful also to beat them, even if there was a lot of problem. I think my time is up. If you have any question, you can ask me, because she is making me like this.